But it's -7 in the dash of the van here. Yeah, it's -4 now, but we're gonna go out in the bikes today anyway. I'm on my way to pick up Harry, and I want to try and chat to Harry about things he's done, his career. Not many people know it, but Harry's done so much in trials. He dabbled in and out a bit of enduro during his trials career, and I've always looked up to Harry, and a lot of people have looked up to Harry, so I want to try and get him to open up a bit, try and chat to him about everything, and hopefully you all enjoy it. Should be a good enough video. I'm looking forward to even hearing what he's got to say, so let's get the day going. Don't know if you'll be able to see this, but the bike's freezing in the van. Check that out. Look at the roof. He barely revved it. I went high. This is slick. That was nice that they just front up there. He's just going down there. Yeah, I probably should have done that too. You can go down in there and round and switch back up.
And then up this way?
Yeah. Good fun that wee bit, isn't it?
Nice there.
Yeah. You could probably keep it going across as well. Finally got Harry down on this bench. We're gonna have a wee chat with him. So, where did it all start, Harry? How'd you get into bikes? Right, so we've been out a good spin. Got a few, I don't know what, 2 or so hours in anyway. Enough for a Saturday morning when it's freezing. But got Harry down finally chatting this old bench here. So, where did it all start, Harry? How'd you get into bikes?
Just through mates, probably at primary school time. I've been about 5 or 6. And it was just schoolboy motocross was starting, and everybody was in the economy had built bikes, and we were night on holidays. And we seen this like Honda with wee wheels on it, Rally Rumour. So we went to them on, and it was land to say the road, and we bought it. But it was too big to fit in the boot of a car, so my dad went to the garage and bought a hacksaw, and he cut it in half, stuck it in the boot and brought it home.
You cut the bike in half?
Cut the bike in half. Brought it home, welded it up, and I just raced around the fields at home, really.
Yeah.
And then, just then, we were always homemade bikes for 3 or 4 years, really,
Yeah.
like. But then, Adrian Griffiths here at the Lead Mines, he always was working about our place and in the bikes and trials bikes, and that's how I got into trials more than anything else.
Yeah, sweet. And so how did it end up a competitive thing then? What?
Well, I just kept practicing at home. Just our homemade bikes, really, and then I got a TY80 Yamaha trials bike, and I rode it for a few years, and then just progressed up to bigger bikes, and then schoolboy trials wasn't really a lot happening here in the north, so it was probably mid-70s before I started competing. Like.
Yeah. And when you did start competing, was it like an instant success, or did you build up? And
well, it sort of wasn't an instant success. Like, it built up, would have been the first maybe 4 or 5 of schoolboys, but I just kept practicing away and working away, and eventually got winning schoolboy trials, and then progressed into the adult ranks and rode won Ulster and Irish championships then. But then it was sort of I was winning all here, so I just wanted to travel really then, so I decided to go to England then and do a bit.
well, you go to England and do it all yourself at the start, like privateer thing, and
We just travelled for a year, done a couple of years, well I rode Scottish 6 days and stuff like that, and then it was about 83 decided to go and do a few British rounds, so I done a few and got a few points in the top 10, and then I won the Manx that year, the Manx 2-day trial, and that sort of got me then the following year. Yamaha come at me, would have been interested in riding for them.
nice. So what, from the Yamaha deal, it sort of progressed from there? You went the world stage then instead of travelling Britain, yeah?
Well, kept doing the British Championship then the following year. That would have been my best year. It was, well, my first year doing full British, finished 5th, and then done a few world rounds just to sort of break into it. And I scored points in Ireland here at Clondyboy Estate, so that then set us up for the following year to done the full series then, and would have been, I think I got best privateer that year, about 16th overall, so happy with that, and then 3rd British Championships, so a couple of good results.
Good job. So do you have any over them? How many years were you with Yamaha? Or?
Probably from 83 or so right through till the early 90s when I
Till they stopped making trials bikes near enough?
It was always TYs I rode. I never rode TYZ. I was sort of come to a stage then, I was getting fed up travelling, dinging it all the time. We were away every weekend. I was get fed up travelling, so I sort of knocked it in the head for a few years.
Yeah. And what, did you go back at it after that, or did you?
Went back then, 2000 then, or 19, well I rode a few trials in between time, but then about 99 I decided to get another bike, so I bought a gas trials bike and started again riding.
And in that era of trials, like, there was a lot of big names, and do you have any standout results? Like any boys that you're really proud of beating, or?
I had some good results, like them days, like the Scottish 6 days, it was like a world championship, all the top boys were there.
It was a big thing.
So everybody was riding, it was more like a world round, and I beat a few boys, Lejeune that time, and me showed, and a lot of the good world boys then, you know, and had good results at British championships. I never won a British round, finished second a couple of times, and I beat Summers a couple of rounds, so he was the top man then, like, so I was happy with that.
And I know sort of during that time you dabbled in and out of enduro a wee bit too, didn't you? Adrian told me that you rode a bit and you done the Welsh 2-day. And
we done, when I was, before I went to Yamaha, when I was doing trials, I started doing a few enduros, and I rode in the Tampa Marathon it was then, and I won it, so that sort of gave me a boost, but it was on a trials bike. And
because you won an enduro on a trials bike?
It wasn't really, there wasn't that many enduro bikes about then. There maybe had only been 3 or 4 enduros in the north all year. So I'd done a few bits, and then Ireland were going to send a team till 6 days. So it was Adrian Lappin, Robert Davison, Jeffrey Pearce, myself. So
Did you even have an enduro bike at that stage?
I did.
You
I got John Doherty from Derry had sponsored me with a big Husky 250, and I rode it, but I had no idea what it was really was going to win. And done a bit of motocrossing in between times to try and get my speed built up because I'm not that quick. But I enjoyed it because it suited me better because that year it was all mud like.
It was a washout.
I was the only one out of the team that finished that year. The rest of the boys had problems like broke down and stuff. So I was happy. And then the following year we went till the sent team again to Assen in Holland. But I think that's why I hate riding sand now. It was just sand all week. So
and you don't sit down at all, like so.
Just
sand
wasn't my thing, like.
Yeah. So, like you ended up minding as well once you had sort of stepped away from trials a bit, and so you stayed within the sport for years, and then you've ended up here. Like you're loving riding bikes now. Every year you're getting better. Whenever I come back to riding again, then my nephew Robert was starting to ride, so I went and tried to coax him and teach him, and I was riding a bit myself in between times. So I done 4 or 5 years with him, and then he retired. And then I says I'm going to buy myself an enduro bike, so I bought an enduro bike, expecting to do more enduros and stuff. And then Alex White come at me about doing minder for him. So I done 5 or 6 years for him mine. Yeah.
So I never really got a chance till
you were always flat out.
We're always away again, world rounds and stuff, so I never really got a chance. So then whenever he packed it in, I said I need to get out, so I'm enjoying riding now.
I remember I think it was Venice or something, there was a enduro one day and I just got a TM. I just started riding for Nick Craigie and I thought I'll go and see what this bike's like. And I was riding around and said, I've got this in the bag, and came in the last lap and I looked over my shoulder and you were right beside me. And remember it was up around the top of the mountain, and then there was a real tight finish. And this flipping old boy's gonna smoke me. I remember that. And it was an old gas you had, and it was a heap, like absolute heap. But no, you're really fast then.
No, I enjoy it. I do like the enduros. I like these extremes because it's a bit of trials and cross country, and I'm not into the modern enduro where modern enduro went really too much motocrossy, really. I think
it's too fast now.
It's too fast. It's all the special tests, just like a motocross test, like really.
It's catered for them, and
whereas extreme, as long as they don't go too much
speed in between the horses.
Well, I don't think they are speed, but getting helpers in. But that's the way trials has went too many minders and stuff.
Yeah.
It suits the top boys because they can employ more people. But
the way Romaniacs was this year,
better. It's man and machine, really. Like
there's no help, and that's the way it should be. Really,
that's what
it's all right if a rider can help another rider, but so the more recent years, like you're one of the top, I'd say, top elite vets in the world at the minute. Like you went to Lagares last year, you're on the podium there. You've won the British for what, 3 or 4 years now?
2 years
in a row, anyway, and there's no one really.
No,
like there is fast boys in Europe, but you've went. Like, what's your plan then for 2021? Are you gonna go back and?
I will. Hopefully, I'll do a few British rounds again, and then entered for Erzberg. But my main one's Romaniacs. I always want to do Romaniacs, so that's the one I want to really set my mind on. Like,
and what age are you gonna be going into Romaniacs?
Be 50. I'm near enough 57 then.
So you're 57, and what are you doing, silver class?
Silver class, yeah.
Flip, perfect. That'll be some achievement.
So it'll be hard, like, but at no point I always like pushing myself. So
but you've got the know-how and the knowledge and the skill to finish for Maniacs.
Well,
it's just like you'll get through the days. It's
just keeping sensible and being good, steady, like.
Yeah. So I've been lucky to be able to ride with you for years now, and like a lot of other boys have, but like, are you gonna stick around? Like, are you gonna ride till you're 100? What's the crack?
I'll still keep riding as long as I can ride, like.
Yeah. And
I still enjoy it. But I like going out now. There's a few young fellas. There's more young fellas coming into the sport, and I like giving a bit of help to them, like.
Yeah. So if you ever can't ride, are you gonna step into that sort of direction?
I would, like, sort of way, try and just go out. If I can go out in a bike, maybe don't have to compete, but at least I can get out in a bike and help them. Like when we go out practicing there, like, still, if there's something I see you maybe doing wrong, I try to say, well, try this or try that. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
like I've always said, if you talk, I listen. Like, it's,
You know, it maybe wouldn't the right way, but it's worth, you know, something like, you know.
yeah. No, I'll not keep you here too much longer as my hands are freezing. I can see your lips going blue.
No, thank you very much.
Cheers anyway, and good luck for this year.
Yeah.